Telegraph now, Leo. Scots police have applied a fairly strong filter on hate.
Yeah, so only 2 hate crime reports out of 7,000 have been pursued by the Scottish police under the new hate crime law that came through on April the 1st. So, yeah, there are thousands of calls flooding in. Almost all have been dismissed as critics have attacked the extra burden placed upon police officers in Scotland. So 7,000 complaints, and around about half were against Humza Yousaf, the First Minister, who's actually the architect of this law when he was Justice Minister, and who went on a sort of anti-white rant in the Scottish Parliament. So is then seen as being this racist. But the Police Scotland went through them. They identified 240 offences, decided that only 9 of these were worth being investigated, and all but 2 of the 9 investigations have been dismissed. And so the 2 that are left are some football fans singing a song, a sectarian song, and some anti-Semitic graffiti that was seen in Buchanan Street. And this has come at a huge, an insane cost. We're looking at, overall, we're looking at a cost of millions. If we're talking about the overtime bill for the police to deal with all these complaints, and also the government spent hundreds of thousands of pounds promoting it, which I'm sure they're very grateful to English taxpayers for funding. Steve, what do you think? Is it likely to carry on in this vein, or do you think it's just a little bit of blowing the froth off at the beginning?
No, I think there'll be a slight uptick. I mean, only 2 hate crimes out of all of those reported, but that's because, Leo, you've not been back over the border yet, have you? So as soon as you go over there, all of a sudden there'll be a slight increase. But it's all about the wording, isn't it? It's such a badly defined law that most of this seems to be the interpretation of the police is required. No, you need the words in the law so you know if you're breaking it or not. Yeah. And I suppose if you have a law that's badly worded, is it to scare people away from it? So that, I don't know whether I'm breaking a law by saying something, so I'll say nothing. That's a bit more sinister. I just can't help
but two main things that I think are sinister about it. That it has shifted to a sort of subjective appreciation of whether somebody might have felt that there was hate in play, and also that it takes place in your own home. And this is the thing. If kids start, dobbing in their parents and find they can do that. It's one of the major tenets of all the great dystopian novels from 1984 onwards, that children are horrifically easily recruited into this kind of thing,
And history has shown it as well. The Chinese Cultural Revolution, the Nazis.
Absolutely. We used to have the threat calling childline.
We're being invaded by aliens in 400 years' time.
So we just had the threat of calling childline if your parents don't do what you want. But now you can say, I'm going to say you said something bad about a certain ethnicity.
Do you remember, David Haddingham? Great comic. He had a wonderful routine. He goes, I do this to wind him up. The other day I called Childline, and they went, hello, Childline. And I said, oh, is it? Is it now? And they went, what do you mean? I went, I just dialed 1471 to see the last number my child had died. Come here, you little toe rag. Anyway.